This week, RFK spoke at the Libertarian Convention. As many of you know, RFK is a third-party candidate running in this year's election cycle. He's polling in the single digits, and his entire family has disowned him. The Kennedy family is begging people to vote for Biden because RFK has kind of lost his mind. He's very conspiratorial. He talks about conspiracies with vaccines, health, food, all sorts of stuff. And this week at the Libertarian Convention, he said something that I think went pretty under the radar. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the clip, and we'll talk about it.
And an NBC film crew came up to me during that convocation, and they asked me why I wasn't wearing a mask, which nobody was except for the NBC film crew. And they said, wasn't I scared of dying of COVID? And I said to them, there's a lot worse things than dying. And they said to me, like what? And I said, like living like a slave. Like having my children grow up in an America where the Bill of Rights is just a empty piece of paper. In 1776, there was a generation of Americans that were willing to sacrifice their lives, their jobs, their property, their fortunes to give us this Bill of Rights. And upwards of 20,000 of them died to give us this gift.
Okay, so this is disgusting for a variety of reasons. Number one, wearing a mask during a mask mandate for a temporary period of time to protect public health, like a cloth mask, is not akin to having all of your human rights stripped away and being forced into labor in horrible conditions. So in my opinion, absolutely disgusting that RFK would even begin to compare these two things. But number two, it really goes to show that RFK is pretty deep in like MAGA conspiracy world, right? Because obviously we've heard a lot of anti-vax, anti-health information from the far right and MAGA, but this is also a play similar to Trump that I find interesting because it's almost driving a very cult-like reaction. When RFK looks at the crowd and he says, I'll stand up for your Bill of Rights, I'm not going to let you kind of be treated like a slave. That's almost what he's saying. It draws this emotional reaction where it doesn't matter what RFK says, or if it was Trump, it doesn't matter what Trump says. You are so connected to this idea that whoever you're voting for is a hero, a savior, a prophet of some kind. It's driving this insane cult-like behavior that is incredibly dangerous and is one of the reasons we're in this current political situation. I've said this, and the majority of America has said this over and over and over again. When it comes to COVID, masks, health, food, we should listen to the doctors and we should continue to be pragmatic and try to be better over time. But listen to the people who have studied this for their entire lives, not an environmental lawyer talking about vaccines and how he's not going to wear a mask at a convention. It's like you're not a hero, you're not a prophet, you're not protecting anyone's Bill of Rights. Nobody's Bill of Rights was stripped through temporary mask mandates. And this often drives a conversation about how the deep state was trying to achieve something through control. But it's like, as far as I'm aware, when I look outside, not many people are wearing masks anymore anyways. This whole thing is kind of, we consider COVID over. So I don't know what the deep state has achieved in temporarily making you wear a cloth mask during a convention. But maybe RFK can clue me in on that. Regardless, I think it's important that everybody remembers that we need serious politicians in this country. One of the reasons I'm voting for Joe Biden, he's passed a lot of good policy, he's led us in the right direction, and he's serious. He's serious about what he does. Donald Trump is not a serious human being. He's incredibly dangerous. RFK is not a serious human being. He's incredibly dangerous. And as we face all these issues in America that need real solution, we have people, lunatics, may I say, on the back end talking about a bunch of nonsense that is not helping anybody. A lot of people in America right now need help with bills. They need help with the economy. They need help with school. They need help with all sorts of things. And being focused on being forced to wear a cloth mask is not one of them. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we can elect Joe Biden, and people who are currently voting for RFK end up voting for Joe Biden, because RFK has no shot to win. And as you just saw, like I said many, many times, not a serious person. If you enjoyed this video, it'd mean a lot if you hit like. It goes a super, super long way. And subscribe if you haven't. I also go live on TikTok quite a bit, and I debate Trump supporters or people not voting for Biden. It's a good time. I would love to see you there. My DMs are always open. I also have Twitter, Threads, Instagram, the whole nine. So you can check out my other profiles if you want. There's a link in the description. I want to let you know that I appreciate you and I love you and I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.